In the 1979 novel, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a supercomputer called Deep Thought spent 7.5 million years calculating the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. And the answer it gives is
42.
In this video, I'm going to show that 42 is likely not a random joke of an answer like Douglas Adams, the creator, claims it was, but was, like almost everything in media, a clue for the initiate, a thread to follow for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. There are multiple ways to converge on what 42 means. Before I can say what this esoteric riddle really means, we first need to understand a few things so it clicks when you hear it. First, we need to understand how a rainbow is formed. A rainbow in nature is made by light refracting through water droplets. Coincidentally, light being refracted at 42 degrees creates the maximum intensity for the primary rainbow. In other words, that's the angle that makes the brightest rainbow. Interestingly, light passing through the rain ends up averaging out to this optimal 42-degree angle, creating the rainbows we see in the sky. So keep this in mind because this is where the pieces start coming together. Next, I'm going to tell you about what Kabbalah says about God. But don't worry if you know nothing about Kabbalah. I will tell you everything you need to know. In Kabbalah, there is the prayer Ana Bi Koach, which encodes the 42-letter name of God. Interestingly, this prayer describes the descent and eventual ascension of God into the world. If connecting the fact that light so happens to refract through rain at 42 degrees, resulting in the perfect rainbow, and the 42-letter name of God prayer in Kabbalah seems like a stretch to you, don't worry, because there is more, and it only gets weirder, so please keep an open mind. Not long ago, I heard a story on Reddit about someone who claimed to have talked to an entity during astral projection. In this encounter, the entity told this person that us and the universe are like a laser beam, and what we are is that beam splitting and experiencing separateness. And eventually it comes back together with a better understanding of itself. I'm not asking you to just believe this story, but simply entertain it with what I'm about to tell you. If we are part of a laser or anything that is symbolically equivalent to one, then a rainbow is symbolically equivalent to creation, just on a smaller scale. When light is scattered through a raindrop, it creates the rainbow. Each of us would then represent a distinct wavelength on the rainbow creation itself. Keep in mind that the 42-letter name of God prayer I mentioned in Kabbalah is not literally about the 42 letters of a man in the sky. It is an occulted message about the creation and who we are relative to it and each other. This prayer is about our travel from what is called Kether, which is known to be our source and always portrayed as a white light. Keep in mind that white light is the color that contains all other colors. In the prayer, it speaks of our separation from our source and our fall into Malkuth, which means the physical world, and our venture back to the source, or white light from which we came. There is one more strange parallel I want to point out. In Norse mythology, there is the rainbow bridge known as Bifrost, which connects the realm of the mortals to the realm of the gods. Once again, we find the rainbow acting as a bridge between the physical and the divine, between separation and reunion. Whether this is just a coincidence or another clue hidden in mythology, I'll leave that up to you.
But it was the question, the ultimate question of everything.
That's not a question. Only when you know the question will you know what the answer means.
Give us the ultimate question then.
What's also interesting is that in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Deep Thought calculates the answer to life, the universe, and everything, and the answer arrives at is 42. The problem is that nobody knows the question. What if that is actually the deeper joke? What if that is the human condition itself? We are given existence first and spend our lives trying to discover what question existence is answering. We are given the answer before we understand the question. The analogy of a rainbow, the Ana Bi Koach from Kabbalah, the story of Bifrost in Norse mythology, and what this person was seemingly randomly told by this entity are all pointing toward the same thing. If the rainbow represents creation, if white light represents source, and if existence is the journey from that source into apparent separation and eventually back again, then perhaps 42 is not meant to be a literal answer at all. Perhaps it is a symbolic answer pointing toward a process rather than a destination. I want to add here that none of this is as crazy as it sounds. Let's look at the Big Bang, the birth of the universe, or creation as far as I understand it. The further you look into space, the further back in time you see. And what do we see? We see everything emerging and fracturing from this primordial white light. I believe that white light is timeless and is Kether, its source, God. We are not separate from that white light. We are temporarily experiencing a separation from it. These are some of the things I think about often. And as always, thanks for watching.